I'm Simon Barry. In 1973, I joined the army and went to Sandhurst. I was just 17. At 18, I was commissioned into the parachute regiment and took over a platoon in 3 Para, which had just returned from a gruelling tour in West Belfast. I was the youngest member of that platoon. 6 weeks in, I learned that an IRA gunman in Londonderry had shot and killed one of my best mates, Mike Simpson, of the Staffordshire Regiment. After 18 months hard training in Germany, Malaysia, Italy, Sudan, in early 1976, we started training for deployment to Northern Ireland, South Armagh, which the media had been calling bandit country because of the high level of IRA violence and murder. We soon heard about the Kingsmills massacre, where the IRA stopped a van with 10 Protestant workmen in it, lined them up and executed them in cold blood. Our training was good and prepared us well. Additionally, our commanding officer and some of the company commanders knew the area from previous tours, which was useful. We were clear from the outset that we were there to support the Royal Ulster Constabulary, the RUC, and that we were operating within the rule of law. The governing rules of engagement, called the yellow card, were drilled into us. We understood clearly about using minimum force. When we deployed, we took over from a battalion that had suffered several casualties. The platoon we replaced had 3 men killed and around 6 wounded. In South Armagh, vehicles were seen as targets, so we would insert by helicopter and spend several days and nights on foot patrol. The locals lived in fear of the IRA. Even if they wanted to be pleasant, they dare not be. From day one, there were shootings and bombings. We knew we had to get out there, dominate the area by day and night, get good intelligence, and take the initiative from the terrorists. We did just that. In June, one of my patrols did a pub check. Something was not right. The intelligence team got to work and a covert observation post, OP, was deployed. The observers moved in for a closer look, and one of them was spotted by a young boy. They moved further away, but still with the target in sight. At this stage, 4 IRA men, dressed in parkas and hoods, arrived armed with semi-automatic rifles and hundreds of rounds of ammunition. They were out to kill, either going on a hit job or returning from another IRA murder mission. Things happened very quickly. The OP called it in and also engaged the gunman with a light machine gun. I was the commander of the Quick Reaction Force, dispatched by Puma helicopter. We could hear the firing as we loaded onto the chopper. The patrol company commander was controlling things from above in a reconnaissance helicopter. Once engaged, the gunmen scattered. 1 was hit, 1 ran away, 2 others fled into a house. After landing in dead ground or a blind spot nearby, as gunfire continued, we charged over open ground to the house, surrounding it as best we could. I entered through a window and confronted the 2 gunmen. They had rifles in their hands. It would have been within the yellow card rules for me to shoot them. I made a split-second decision to fire 3 rounds above their heads. They surrendered. They were later handed over to the RUC. The weapons we captured that evening had been used in the Kingsmills massacre. It was just another evening in South Armagh, typical of so many actions that took place. We were there to protect people and prevent terrorist murders across the province. For about 25 years, hundreds of thousands of soldiers served to do the same. In those days, the government that sent us understood the military. They had served during the Second World War. The Prime Minister, Jim Callaghan, had served in the Royal Navy. The Northern Ireland Secretary had been an RAF intelligence officer in the Italian campaign. And the Minister of Defence had fought in France in 1940 and become a prisoner of war. We trusted that they had our backs. These days, terrorists responsible for executions, murders, and bombing campaigns, taking or ruining countless lives, walk free, having been released from prison or given comfort letters protecting them from prosecution. Apologists portray them as the victims. Meanwhile, the soldiers who put their lives on the line remain in the sights of those who have always meant them harm. The difference now is that instead of bombs and bullets, they target them through the media and lawfare. We have had to listen to the likes of Gerry Adams talk about the army having a shoot-to-kill policy. Absolute rubbish. The incident I have just described is typical of the choices we had to make. The IRA, on the other hand, never took prisoners. Instead, by way of example, in 1977, Captain Bob Nyrak was abducted, tortured, and ultimately shot dead. His body has never been recovered. In 1988, the IRA captured, tortured, and killed 2 signals corporals, Derek Wood and David Howes. Wood was shot 6 times and stabbed 4 times. Howes was shot 5 times. Their murderers were caught and convicted. They were released in 1998. The victims of Kingsmills never received justice. Were they just the wrong victims? Does that seem just to you? Today, veterans who put their lives on the line are being hounded through vexatious legal cases based not on new evidence, but on new laws and their interpretation by foreign courts. We seem to have a government big on platitudes, but not doing the right thing. An abundance of law and lawyers and very little justice. I'm reminded of General Bill Slim, the finest British general of the 20th century, who told a group of new officers, "Never forget the smell of soldiers' feet." That was in the days when marching was the usual way to move around. Feet were important, and to ensure that they were looked after, officers would conduct foot inspections. Slim was telling his new officers that they had a duty to care for their men. I'm not sure that this is still the case.